Hello, you bassists, you dirty bassists. That's a stupid thing. Anyway, this week I just want to go through a big part of my sound, which is the ME50B, which I think is a criminally underrated piece of bass gear, and it's been a massive part of my sound pretty much since I played bass in a band, you know, for, well, at least a long time. I you know, before I just used to use a bass, but then when I got serious about music, I started getting into pedals and things like that, and I use this as basically like a EQ slash preamp slash multi effects, which it is, because it's got the EQ here, which is really useful, and this setting here, which is called mid shape. I mean, this moves around and that, but once I've got the presets in there, this doesn't change. But I use the mid shape, and I get a really damn nice sound out of it, especially with my Gibson basses. This thing is just a massive part of it now. I use it in conjunction with other pedals, but this is, I don't think I'd be without it ever, and it is massively underrated. So let me go through it with you. So basically, I get the EQ the way I want it, which is normally low up, about 1 o'clock ish, the mid in the middle, mid frequency about there, high, like treble on a bit, and effects level, this level up pretty much, and then I hit stomp this, which turns it on into mid shape, and I normally get the bottom sensitivity about there, depth of tone there, and resonance level right where it is. As you can hear, playing with one hand in a minute, but hear it without. So that mid shape basically does like a mid EQ, so it just boosts the mids in the right areas, so you get a much more warmer. You hear that difference, and that will be like my clean tone when I go into my channels. So you can go into memory mode. So this has got a tuner on it as well, which is always handy to keep in tune. And when you hit the tuner, all you got to do is hit this as the volume pedal, and then no one can hear you tuning up. Nothing. I'm going through the Gibson Thunderbird at the minute, by the way, just so you know what that sound is. That's it, bypass, completely bypass. So the only thing shaping that is the amp. But then as soon as you hit on the mid shape, because I've got the first 3 channels on here for my Thunderbird and my Gibson SG. If I use that, I normally use the tone hammer with the Gibson SG. It's just a lot better for it. And then my second channel, which I use, is a phaser. Love the phaser on this. The phaser on this is really good. Some of the effects are not that great. They're, you know, they're usable, totally usable. No one's going to know about them in a mix, but you don't have the amount of selection you would on like a single dedicated pedal, you know, to something like the overdrive on this Boss ODB3 is a bit better than the overdrives you get on this, but you do get a lot of choices. You know, look how much you've got the choice. So you can play about with something, see if you like it, and then go and buy like a single pedal if you wanted to. But with the phaser on this, I love the phaser on this. And then the third channel, or third pedal, I should say, is a reverb. really good reverb. Really nice reverb. I mean, reverb on bass isn't always useful, I find. It gets a bit muddy in it, but this reverb is just right. And then what I do, I skip to the next channel, and then I have my clean mid shape, clean bass tone, the EQ on. Then I have a bit of chorus and a octave. You know, Sledgehammer. I can't do it with one hand, impossible. Tony Levin, mate, it's just different gravy. But that's what I have on that one. And then I have this weird setting, which I don't know how to explain really, but what I use is the slow gear at the top there, slow gear. Then I have a bit of muff fuzz, I believe, on it, or is it the saw lead? And reverb. So it's this crazy sound, like a dirty synth. So it's like a blend. You see what you can do with it? You can blend a load of effects together. See how all these pedal channels are on, and then you save them onto a preset. Make these crazy bloody sounds. It's fantastic. And then I have another clean setting, because if you're in this and you're playing on stage like I used to and singing, I can't bend down and be changing channels and stuff like that during the middle of a set. So I'll have these presets done so that I can use them during the gig, you know. And this is delay. And this one, bit of chorus, you know, try and do a bit of Guns N' Roses or whatever. The chorus is pretty nice on this as well. Basic, but you know, it gets you by. And that is pretty much how I use it. Oh, hang on. So on certain settings, I'll have this. So you kind of got 4 pedals per channel, with the use of the wah, which does a number of things. Oh, I have to really kick it on when I've got to do it by hand. There you go. So do some crazy stuff with that. So yeah, it can be used as a volume when it's not being kicked on. It works as a volume. When it has been kicked on, it can work as either a wah, resonance, bloody hell, octave up, octave minus, sound hold, or a kick drum. You can even use it as a practice kick drum. Keep yourself in time and mess around with it. And then all these pedals go through. So I have it does have a compressor on it, but I do prefer my MXR Dynacomp bass compressor. Love the Dynacomp. And then when they brought one out for a bass, I was like, yeah, that's the one I'm getting at. So the original Dynacomp has gone onto my guitar pedal world. But yeah, I use it in conjunction with all this. This Meris I ain't got my head around yet. It's crazy, but I will do a little review on that. But yeah, sorry it's a bit weird. Like I've only got one hand to kind of show you, but just a general idea. And just if you see one of these, pick it up, man. They're a serious bit of kit, and they work really well with other pedals. Yeah, I'll show you while I'm on it. So because I've got that mid shape thing on, when you hit the overdrive, can you you hear that? It just sounds, you know, it just sounds, 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 it just adds nicely to it, and that's just all on flat, you know. I don't muck around, it's just I leave it all on flat, and then gives you a beautiful sound. But you hear it without it. Oh, sorry. You hear it without it. It's not as nice at all. So that's that without it. And then with it back on, click back on. Real warm and cut through a mix, no bloody problem. It's amazing, honestly. This thing, I know it's outdated now. They've brought out the ME50B, and you got all these different preamps and whatever else. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love an angular tone hammer, but this thing is just the nuts, believe me. But anyway, thanks for joining me, appreciate it, and I'll bring you some more content next week. Cheerio.